afternoon. I couldn't wait till tomorrow to share this with my patients. Gene therapy has restored hearing, and imagine being born profoundly deaf. I have children, I'm sure many of you guys do as well. Uh, and imagine after one single treatment, you can begin to hear voices, music, and everyday sounds. This is no longer just an experimental laboratory thing we do to animals. Gene therapy has restored meaningful hearing in children and some adults, and this relates to a rare inherited form of deafness, but it's just a start, and it's amazing. It's incredible. April of 2026, United States approved the first gene therapy for genetic hearing disorder. Scientists are excited, and the honest answer is we can now treat one very specific genetic form of deafness, but we cannot yet cure most types of hearing loss. So I'm going to summarize basically what happened. Uh, so, deafness, it's not one disease, and a person may lose hearing because of aging, repeated exposure to loud noises, infections, medications, injuries, damage to the auditory nerve, changes in one of many different genes. The gene therapy will not work unless the treatment matches the underlying biological problem. And in this case, the recent breakthrough that is super exciting involves a gene called OTOF or OTOF. And it's an amazing little gene that provides instructions for making a protein called otoferlin. Inside the cochlea of your ear, sound vibrations are detected by specialized sensory cells called hair cells. And people with OTOF-related deafness, many of these hair cells may still be present and capable of detecting vibrations. But without functioning otoferlin, the cells cannot properly transmit that sound information to the auditory nerve. And it's almost like having a microphone that can detect sound, but but its cables are disconnected from the speaker. So the ear receives the vibration, but the message does not reach the brain. And now scientists have developed a way, which applies to everything else we do with genes, uh, where you can deliver working copies of the OTOF gene directly into the inner ear. So they're using a modified, what we call adeno-associated virus or AAV as a delivery vehicle. And these viruses are engineered so that they do not cause the original disease. So you don't get the virus, you don't get the COVID, you don't get the herpes, etc. They are amazing because the virus instead can carry the genetic instruction into the target cells. And there's one technical challenge, especially thinking about OTOF. The gene is too large to fit inside a single virus. So researchers solved this by dividing the genetic instruction between two viruses, or what we call two vectors. And after both pieces enter the same inner ear cell, the cell can assemble the information and begin producing functional otoferlin. So the therapy is basically a very delicate surgical procedure. I had the opportunity to kind of be keeping up with this, and it's not a regular injection in the arm. It's truly a very sophisticated surgery, and the result is that uh, the study called the CHORD study, CHORD, I believe, children with profound hearing loss caused by OTOF variant received the gene therapy originally called DBOTO, and the treatment improved hearing in many participants. And some of the children gained enough natural hearing to detect speech and everyday environmental sounds. In three of the first 12 treated children, hearing sensitivity reached a normal range, and the international trials have also reported major improvement. A multi-center study involving 42 participants, ranging from infants to adults, found meaningful hearing recovery in most of the patients, with follow-up lasting as long as 2 to 2.5 years. So these responses are not always identical. Some people achieve normal hearing or near normal hearing. Some got partial, and some improved less. But children generally appear to have stronger results, possibly because their auditory pathways and language processing systems were more adaptable. The improvement in adults are very exciting as well, because to think about it, now we have a hearing hearing loss gene that could be you know uh, addressed and corrected. The treatment currently for adults is otarmini. It's like OTA. I'll write it all out. RMENI, and ultimately, it's basically approved for eligible children and adults with severe to profound hearing loss caused by confirmed disease that's producing a variant of two copies of the OTOF gene, and the treated ear must also have preserved outer hair cell function, and it must not already have received cochlear implant. So again, it's an extraordinary milestone. I guess the word cure in my world requires some caution, but the therapy addresses the underlying genetic defect and can restore natural acoustic hearing. And that makes it far more than a hearing aid. A hearing aid amplifies sound. A cochlear implant converts sound into electrical signal and stimulates the auditory nerve. The gene therapy attempts to restore uh, part of the ear natural sound transmission system. However, not every patient responds completely. We don't have decades of follow up showing how long the benefits will last, but there may also be surgical, inflammatory, immune, and other risks that require continued monitoring. So, for those reasons, it's important to be accurate, and for selected patients, I think this is a game changer. Uh, so, in a nutshell, I'm hoping for our age-related patients, the process of uh, genetic engineering can be ultimately what ends up saving our hearing, and hopefully, this is the future or the beginning of the future of problems of this magnitude. So, today, for the first time, gene therapy can restore meaningful hearing in some patients with specific inherited form of deafness caused by OTOF gene. The treatment has even produced hearing within a normal range in some participants, and it does not currently reverse most hearing loss caused by aging. But it's one step at a time, one gene at a time, one carefully selected group of patients at a time. So I'm very excited to share this with you, and I'm going to type this up, and hopefully it'll be useful to someone. I think the future is very bright. Congratulations to everyone.